Today I'll talk about Mohtarama Benazir Bhutto. Who was Mohtarama Benazir Bhutto? Mohtarama Benazir Bhutto was a legendary leader of Pakistan, the first woman, the first woman elected Prime Minister, Benazir Bhutto, who stood against the aggression and of, of Ziaul Haq, the military dictator, after that military dictator executed her father, the most popular leader, Zulfikar Ali Bhutto. And then Benazir Bhutto, who didn't want to come into politics, as she mentioned that she wanted to come into civil service in international relations. But that execution of her father and that incomplete journey uh, of upbringing of oppressed people of Pakistan, uh, that unfinished agenda, which uh, resulted into execution of her father, so Benazir Bhutto had to just enter into politics to continue the unfinished agenda of her father, Zulfikar Ali Bhutto. And she stood against all sorts of aggression, all sorts of tortures, all sorts of uh, uh, imprisonments, and she remained steadfast and she didn't give up. And her struggle was within the political and democratic norms, and that's something commendable. That's something that everyone has to follow. That if there is extreme level of aggression, there's extreme level of suppression, even then you remain within the boundaries, you remain within uh, a decency in politics, and you don't just uh, start name calling, or you just not start uh, giving very harsh statements against the oppressors, but you take revenge from them, not by returning their aggression, but by decency, by maturity, and by political wisdom, which Benazir Bhutto demonstrated. And that maturity and that political awareness uh, eventually uh, resulted into her historical reception, uh, where 10 million people came to uh, greet and welcome Benazir Bhutto in Lahore in 1986. And that such a huge demonstration, whose record still has not been broken, although at that time the population was uh, the population number was far less than today's population number if it comes to population of Lahore or overall Pakistan. But still, from that uh, uh, sample of population, she was able to uh, generate such a massive, huge reception, such a massive number of crowd. So that is uh, that happened due to her political wisdom, which she demonstrated, and she remained uh, with that political decency. She maintained that uh, maturity and uh, respect in politics. And Benazir Bhutto, being a leader, she was imprisoned for almost 1 year. Uh, and that jail conditions were far more horrible and worse as compared to the jail conditions of currently imprisoned Imran Khan. And she been uh, a woman, faced all the hardships with such bravery and with such decency that uh, we didn't hear any complaints of uh, those worst conditions, as we hear so many complaints these days from uh, Imran Khan or Imran Khan's party workers. Uh, Although the jail conditions of Imran Khan are far, far better, and even, I'll say, even not close to the jail conditions, the worst, the horrible situation in which Benazir Bhutto was imprisoned. If you talk about the dictatorship of Ziaul Haq, that is an extreme level of aggression, and that is not comparable to any dictatorship or any uh, civilian government if that treated opponents in a uh, in a very adverse manner. But that adversary of Ziaul, that was of a different level. That is not even comparable to any of the torture and political victimization of anyone else. Uh, and the recipient was Benazir Bhutto and her party, but still they remained within uh, their decency. And that decency was coming from Benazir Bhutto, which was being trickled down to each and every member of the party. Uh, Even the party members, they were openly, uh, they were tortured on streets, on bazaars, on markets. There used to be open flogging of PTI support, PPP supporters that time, but still uh, they remained. They didn't uh, openly agitated or tried to create mutiny or to create revolt against the present dictator Ziaul Haq or within the military. So their struggle was commendable. Their struggle was for democracy. Their struggle was for Pakistan, for the welfare of the people of Pakistan. And that struggle has no comparison. And the first torture which they encountered, which they faced, that is not even slightly close to what PTI workers or the founder of PTI is facing. But still, that party PTI is taking is consistently taking such harsh stand against the military or the government and exaggerating the whole uh, situation and building a narrative which is very much exaggerated and not true. But when Benazir Bhutto was tortured, or when People's Party was tortured, at that time there was no social media. There used to be one television channel which was PTV, which was very much totally controlled by Ziaul, and you never hear uh, any news, any even word of Bhutto or Benazir onto state television. Uh, so those were really dark eras of Pakistan history. But look at how Benazir Bhutto navigated her struggle, how uh, she just brought the party, kept the party united, how she brought collaboration and unity among the party workers, how she was just like a unifying force among the party members. And then when Ziaulak uh, died in a plane crash, after that, when elections were held, establishment of that time did their level best to prevent Benazir Bhutto from winning the elections. But her popularity was so overwhelming that in spite of all the machinery, in spite of all the uh, uh, establishment's efforts, and they tried to rig the elections, they tried to uh, did their level best that Benazir Bhutto doesn't uh, take majority in the elections, but her popularity was so overwhelming that they couldn't stop her from becoming the prime minister of Pakistan. But then her she was given government with some compromises, uh, but after there were some selected ministers from the establishment that they wanted Benazir Bhutto to appoint. And then when Benazir Bhutto uh, won the elections of National Assembly, then there were elections of Provincial Assembly after 3 days, and then uh, establishment got time to further rig the elections, and they just rigged the elections and and they did their level best that Benazir Bhutto and her party doesn't win in the provincial elections of Punjab, and they just managed to get Mia Mohammed Nawaz Sharif as the chief minister of Punjab, as Mia Mohammed Nawaz Sharif was part of Islami Jamhuriya Ittihad at that time. That is the coalition of a number of parties. So Mia Nawaz Sharif uh, got elected as chief minister, but that election was very much uh, controlled and managed in favor of uh, Mia Nawaz Sharif, and it was very much against Pakistan People's Party. In Sindh also, so in Punjab they installed Mia Nawaz Sharif against PPP, and in Sindh they just created and supported MQM, Mahajar Qawmi Movement, as opponent to Pakistan People's Party. So that was that that level of maneuvering and manipulation and oppression that Benazir Bhutto faced. But she faced all those uh, aggressions and opposition with decency, with political maturity, with uh, political wisdom, unlike Imran Khan, who just continuously behaving like a very, uh, what do you say, impulsive type of person, just like a teenager who just get violent on uh, things, and he just not control his emotions. Uh, so there's a lot of lesson to learn from the political struggle of Benazir Bhutto, that how she maneuvered and navigated her uh, space in that very narrow and dark uh, uh, arena of politics at that time. Uh, Hope you find the information useful, and the aim of the video is to introduce you about the political struggles of Benazir Bhutto and to uh, show you some insight about the wrong political strategies followed by Imran Khan. Thank you very much.